Hey guys, welcome back to the other side of the coin. Look, yet another boring 0-0 draw. Honestly, there wasn't too much going on in this match. I mean, look, deep down, I probably expected something like this off the back of what we saw against Sevilla, but I just didn't want to voice it out. I just thought that, I had this bravado showing that we're going to go out there and put Man United under pressure, but it wasn't to be. Look, I'm going to try and stay as objective, try and find some positives out of this, and probably shed on some light on some negatives as well, and hopefully give some justice to this review. But before we start all of that, guys, if you're here already, please smash the like button, help this channel out with at least get me to 50 to 70 likes in this particular video. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe and hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my contents. Guys, let's get straight into this. Look, I've got 5 things that I want to talk about this particular match. I don't want to dwell too much on the formation and lineups and whatnot, but I've got 5 topics which hopefully will cover, give a good picture of what the game was all about, and I'll leave with a final message which basically gives an outlook for the future games that's coming up this season. So first of all, guys, I want to talk about the whole 3-4-3 formation. Look, I just want to say that as soon as I saw that, I just had this feeling that's a defensive setup. That's taking away a particular midfielder to accommodate for another extra, defender. And already I had the vibe that, okay, we're setting up for a draw here at best, I suppose. Hopefully, I guess we're trying to sneak a win. And that's pretty much exactly how the game panned out. If you look at now the whole 3-4-3, I mean, there's too many negatives I feel around this particular formation, just the way we've set up. We were looking at too much from Reece James and Chilwell. They were pretty much basically looking at our playmaking side of things, and it's too much to ask from these 2 players. Reece James and Chilwell are very good going forward, but they're not your playmakers like Trent Alexander-Arnold or even Robertson for Liverpool. So that's too much to ask for over them. Defensively, they were very strong. And also up front, the 3, Pulisic, Kai Havertz and Timo Werner, most of the times they were looking isolated up front because they didn't have that midfield sort of support, because at the midfield we had Kante and Jorginho, who were basically just anchoring and were really there for a defensive setup. And they did a pretty good job defensively. But up front, honestly, we were just hoping that they were going to create some sort of magic individually. And it wasn't like we had a system or a game plan that was going to help them out. So I feel like that was a negative setup from the get-go, but it kind of gave the message that we weren't really going out there, gun-ho for the win. It was more for a defensive setup, get the draw, get the point away from home, and if we can sneak a win, we get the win. And that's the negative about that particular formation. The only positive I can see about that formation is we get to play with our, back 5 in this case, generally 4, but it's those regular 5 players in the sense of Mendy, Thiago Silva, Zuma, Chilwell, Reece James and Azpilicueta. I think these are the players Frank wants to give this more time so they build that chemistry, solidify themselves, and slowly, hopefully, we can translate some of these defensive performances and include our attacking performance together and create a balanced sort of performance down the track. So that's the only positive I can see out of this whole particular formation, that giving more time to this back 5-6 players to really gel and play together. So now the next topic I want to talk about is Mendy. Guys, he was phenomenal. He made 3 big saves in that particular match, as I can recall. 1 big save or 1 or 2 big saves in the first half. There was a one-on-one opportunity between himself and Rashford in the first half, where Rashford took a crossfield shot and he saved it with his leg. And another notable one in the second half, in the dying moments in the injury time, where there was a whipping shot from Rashford and he made a really, really good save. And look, I feel personally saying, had it been Kepa, honestly, I feel like he might have let one of those goals in. Yes, we were set up for a draw. Yes, we didn't push for a win. But at the same time, you need to have those ingredients to make sure that you can still get the draw. And I feel like Mendy did justice for that. It's so good to have a top quality goalkeeper. Not to say that Kepa's not, but his confidence is so low at the moment. I feel like he might have he might have let in a goal or two at best in those situations. I'm so glad that Mendy is there. He's just so commanding in the box, and he's a great shot stopper. So kudos to that. Next, who I want to talk about is Thiago Silva. Guys, Thiago Silva was absolutely commanding that back line. Yes, we had three in the back, so we're obviously going to be solid defensively, but his position in the middle of that three at the back, you've got Zuma on the left and Azpilicueta on the right. Thiago Silva just negated everything that was coming along. Any long balls that come along, he'd header it down, cushion header it down and find his teammates. Any interceptions. There was a really good opportunity for Cavani in the second half where he wanted to take a first-time shot from a cross, and he perfectly blocked that. That was a huge block. And there were several instances where defensively he looked so astute. Every time he was with the ball, he was so calm. Even his distribution from the back was very, very solid as well. Key passes, long passes as well. Very, very accurate. Overall, he just brought a lot of calmness, and you can see the connection he was having with Mendy as well. Every now and then they were fist punching with each other, building that chemistry, and him being there gave Azpilicueta and Zuma and even Reece James and Chilwell a lot of confidence. So that was a very, very good match from Thiago Silva defensive wise, and this chemistry in the back with Mendy, Silva, Zuma, Reece James, Azpilicueta, Chilwell. I think one of the key factors is Thiago Silva. He's gelling everything together, which is fantastic to see. And I want to keep seeing that. For me, both Mendy and Thiago Silva were probably our best two players in that field. Probably our man of the match. I wouldn't say the man of the match for the whole entire match. I don't even know who that would be, to be honest. It was a boring match. But from our side, Thiago Silva and Mendy definitely were the top-notch players. Not to say Azpilicueta and Reece James and Chilwell, they also played well defensively, did really, really well. But those two were the standouts. Now, on to the next topic, VAR. Guys, the VAR itself is such a controversial topic. There's a lot of things they do right. There's a lot of things that they need to improve. But I feel like when it comes to Man United, and I don't know if I'm starting an agenda here, but I feel like every time I've seen some Man United games, VAR seems to favour them a lot more, and I'm not really sure why. Because there was an incident with Rashford, I think in the first half, where it was a slight touch from Kante on Rashford, and that was turned into a 5-minute investigation to see if there was a penalty, and it was clearly not. It was barely a touch. Yet in the second half, or at the end of first half, there was a big opportunity for a penalty where I believe it was a free kick coming in from the right side, and Maguire had Azpilicueta in a headlock, literally in a headlock, and Aspi he beat Maguire to that whole header opportunity. He was going to rise up and he was pretty much clear for the header, and Maguire realised that he wasn't going to win that particular duel, and he had him in a headlock. And pulled him down and won the header. And no shout of VAR. VAR didn't even look back. No stoppage of play. Azpilicueta was putting his hand up saying, what was that? It was really a bear hug, a tackle. Kind of tackles that you probably, kind of sort of wrestling that you'd see in MMA. So I'm not really sure how VAR kind of works in this situation, how that particular incident was not looked at. Whereas that Rashford incident was looked at for like 5 minutes at least, or probably exaggerating, but it was looked at for quite a long time, and this one wasn't even looked at. So question marks need to be asked about this whole process as to where does VAR really come into play, and is there a review at the end of it, like a committee sitting down reviewing it, that what went wrong, what went right, and really trying to rectify that. So really need to see what's going on in that space. Finally, what I want to talk about is the whole Frank versus Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Guys, to be honest, I don't really think, as I've already mentioned, I don't think Frank was going out there to win. He was hoping for individual performances to come through and hoping for a sneak win. There was probably one opportunity that we had in that entire match where we looked like we could have capitalized, where there was a cross in the second half from Reece James from the right side, and it just missed Kai Havertz, and Pulisic was coming from the left side in the far post, and it had that opportunity fell nicely for Pulisic. I think he would have smashed that shot in, and maybe we could have sneaked a goal. But overall, guys, I don't think Frank Lampard was going out there to to win the match. If anything, I think it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer who was really pushing for a victory. I think it was in the 60th minute where he brought in Cavani, Pogba, which was, you know, a positive move from their sense. And mostly they were more control of the match. They created the better chances. They looked a little bit more threatening than us. Look, overall, yes, we've pretty much negated and nullified all of their attack, but they were really there to win. We were just, you know, even if you look at our subs from Frank Lampard, Ziyech came in on the 80th minute to get 10 minutes. I'm not even sure what that was about. You know, that indicates that we weren't there to win that particular match. You know, Ziyech needs to build up his time and you know, build up his fitness, but he was only given 10 minutes. Hudson-Odoi wasn't even in the squad, which is another big topic. You know, I feel like this kid needs to leave. You know, he wasn't even in the squad. He's barely played anything in the Premier League, even when our wingers have been injured. He needs to probably start really considering that his time in Chelsea, I don't think is really there. He's quite limited, and I don't think Frank fancies him one bit. So yeah, and our subs, you know, in terms of Tammy and Mason Mount coming in, and like for like sort of substitution for me, I don't think they were really there to impact anything. Once again, sort of hoping that we were going to get a win. So overall, that was pretty much my 5 main talking points. I want to leave with a final message, which is, guys, look, this whole week I've been quite upset with 3 draws, you know, with Southampton, Sevilla, and now Man United, and I've been quite frustrated about how there's been lack of sort of the system of play that we're playing, especially against Sevilla. It looked like there was no plan. Against at least Man United, it looked like a plan that we were going to sit up for a draw. Once again, I'm not happy with the caliber of players that we have. We really should be going for a win. Southampton first half was the only time where I saw some really proper attacking football. So we just need to bring all our defensive football that we've played over the last couple of games and the attacking football and bring them together, bring them to a balance. The only positive that I want to leave with, guys, is the next 6 games that we have. And if you look at the Premier League table as well, you know, we've played 6 games, 9 points. We're only 4 points away from Liverpool. If Everton wins tonight, it'll be 7 points. I know that gap is quite, you know, increasing, but as I said, the 6 games that are coming up, including the Champions League game, they're all winnable games. And if we can now start winning all of these 6 games, the upcoming 6 games, I think we should be in a very, very good position, you know, moving down the track and in the future. So guys, hopefully that's what happens to us. Hopefully all of these matches now, you know, it becomes a reference point for Chelsea. And we can look back and go, okay, we can definitely defend, we can definitely attack. And now the 6 games that are coming up, we've really got to go out there and you know, clean these 6 teams up and hopefully get all the 3 points along the way. So guys, let me know what your thoughts were, all my talking points that I've mentioned, my final message as well. Please comment below, interact, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to know what's going on and get your you know, thought process around it. And if you're here, you know, already, please smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see ya.